My understanding is that Steve Scalise is 7 votes away from, he has 7 hard no's and he has 7 undecideds. I am in the undecided category. He is now working to meet with each of those 14 individuals and try to move them over. When he gets to 217, we will then move to the floor and have a vote.
Louisiana Republican Steve Scalise does not have the votes yet that he needs to be elected Speaker of the House, but he does have the support of the previous Speaker and his recent rival, Jim Jordan.
It's important we're back functioning as a House of Representatives. We need a Speaker, and Steve is the guy for that. And I will, like I said, I've offered to give the nominating speech for him when we get back in session, which I will soon.
Max and Jonathan still here. Max, does the support of McCarthy and Jim Jordan help him? I mean, you work with these guys. What in the world's going on?
No, you still have 14 crazies that have said that they aren't supporting him. And what do you think they're suddenly going to? What are they going to be given?
No,
what exactly are they going to be given?
The person they support is named Steve Bannon, and Steve Bannon's goal is to blow the whole thing up. He's told us that.
But here's the thing, though, about this, right? We can't separate the last conversation we just had from this.
No, we cannot.
Okay, the world is in a really serious situation, and it demands American leadership right now. They're certainly getting that from the President of the United States, but the beauty and complexity of the American system of government is that it really requires a unity of effort during our most challenging times. And what the world is looking at right now is the Republican leadership in absolute disarray. They can't even get their act together for a vote to increase appropriations to Israel during a time of war when it is desperate need of increased military aid. That's because they're not able to actually function in a position of power. And we're all seeing it right now. And yes, there's going to be a circus on TV again. And yes, Scalise might have 15 votes, just like McCarthy had to do. He's going to have to grovel.
Doesn't that seem absurd in this desperate time of need that we're about to have another clown show when there should be a unity?
It's not absurd. It's scary. It's frightening because the world, Israel, all of our allies absolutely need us to step up and be there. And we can only do that with a unity of purpose and a unity of focus.
How worried are you that all of this could impact our aid to Israel?
Well, it's super worrisome. I mean, if there isn't a Speaker of the House and there isn't a degree of order, they can't pass legislation. I mean, look, the good news is that both sides are pro-Israel and appreciate the value of the U.S.-Israel relationship. Both sides understand Israel's strategic significance. But we need a speaker in order for the bills to pass. No speaker, no bills, Congress doesn't work. And I also worry about a shutdown. Like, what happens if there's going to be a shutdown at the end of the month, like many people are predicting, even with Speaker Scalise? I don't know.
There's no reason to think we won't have a shutdown. Those 14, they haven't changed their tunes. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.